Many countries around the world have abolished the death penalty, but others continue it. In some countries, judicial killings are carried out only after a lot of appeals, while in others they are carried out quickly. Judicial killing are the execution or killing of individuals who have been sentenced to death by a court of law. Hello, this is Jerry and welcome to my video. Today's topic that we are going to discuss is the legality of extrajudicial killing. Is this human or inhuman? Legal or illegal? Let's discuss this to find out more about this topic. In this video, you're going to learn first, what is the meaning of extrajudicial killing? Second, a brief history of this sort of inhuman killing. Third, what are the arguments that are for and against such acts? 4. Famous cases in India and abroad where officers who are accused of extrajudicial killing are sentenced to imprisonment, and in some cases they are escaped scot-free. 5. The legal provisions in Indian law that allows officials to carry out such acts. Finally, what is the best way forward to resolve this issue? Anyways, the practice of extrajudicial killing is highly controversial and it raises a complex ethical, moral and legal questions. So let's get into the topic to discuss further. The first question is, what is extrajudicial killing? Extrajudicial killings, let us call it as EJK, in short, is a person who is being killed by government authorities or agents, and this is outside the legal system. This is otherwise called as fake encounters or police encounters and many other names, which simply means stopping an individual's right to a fair trial under the law. In other words, this action is outside the legal framework and is not authorized by a court or law enforcement agency. However, this practice has a lot of controversy and some argue in favor of it and others say it violates human rights. Some people who say it is necessary argue that it is only meant for those people who are convicted of horrible crimes. In reality, extrajudicial killing are illegal and violate both national and international human rights. That's period. Next question is, what is the brief history of extrajudicial killing? This practice is not new. It has been prevalent since the mid-20th century. This was done by people who are dictators and have got a lot of power in them. This was used by the British actually on Indians to suppress the nationalist movement. This was before independence. But let's come after independence, and this practice has continued by police and security forces in places where there have been insurgency and terrorism. In 1980 and 1990, many people were killed in Punjab. After the 1990, it was carried out in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, let's discuss the advocate's argument whether EJK is legal or not. The people who are against such killing say, first, extrajudicial killing, as I told you before, is called fake encounters, which has been a problem in India for many decades. The police and security forces misuse this to kill people in the name of counter-terrorism, insurgency and organized crime. Second, these people who are killed have no right to a fair trial and to prove their innocence. Third, this has been a devastating effect on families of those victims. Because of this issue, the Supreme Court has laid down several guidelines so that the security and police can follow them diligently. But all is on paper and there is still a long way to go for accountability and transparency in such murders. So let's see the argument made by people who are for fake encounters. The only argument in favor of extrajudicial killing is that the security forces and police personnel can take such extreme action when they are faced with terrorism or organized crime. But this does not substantiate this act. But this will erode people's trust in the law and increase the resentment of people for these actions. This will also be capitalized by extremists who can recruit more people. A remedy is that the government needs to uphold the rule of law and ensure that people responsible for such fake encounters are held accountable for their actions. This would be by providing training to the police officers and security forces, which will help to show that the government is protecting its citizens. So the next question comes: are there any famous cases regarding extrajudicial killing? There are few recent cases in India that took place in 2020 in the case of Vikas Dubey versus the state of UP case, where the UP police wanted to kill the gangster Vikas Dubey. He was killed in an encounter and there was no evidence against the police, so the police went scot-free. The second case is Rajendra Giri and others versus Central Bureau of Investigation. Another decision passed was in 22nd October 2020 by the Supreme Court, where a person by the name Jaswinder Singh was forcibly taken out from a Gurudwara in New Delhi by some members of Uttar Pradesh police officers. Following this, Jaswinder Singh was killed in an encounter on October 31st, 1992 in Kanishwala forest within the jurisdiction of the police station of Bharatpur, where the prosecution alleged that it was a staged encounter or extrajudicial killing. Ultimately, the court convicted those police officers who were involved in the murder of Jaswinder Singh. So now, let's go across the globe and see other cases where such inhuman acts was carried out by police officers. The first is, this happened in the United States, which is called as George Floyd case, where a 46-year-old black man was killed on 25th May 2020 by Minneapolis police officers. It was where a police officer kneeled on George's neck, thereby leading to his death. The police officer Derek Chauvin was convicted of manslaughter and second-degree murder. Now the second happened in Pakistan in 2018, when the police officer killed a person by name Nakibullah Masood, sorry I'm pronouncing it wrong, in Karachi, which created a huge media outcry. He was killed because he was a member of the Pakistan Taliban, and also the police he was hiding in a terrorist hideout. His family members say that he was only an innocent aspiring male model. However, in 2019, 13 police officers were imprisoned and 7 were acquitted. Another question to ask is whether there are any legal provisions in Indian law to carry out extrajudicial killing. There are no direct provisions in law to kill an individual without an order from a legal authority. But there are certain provisions where an official can use force against a criminal. Let's find out what are those provisions. First, Section 100 of the Indian Penal Code of 1860 authorizes any individual to exercise the right of self-defense, where the person has reasonable apprehension that his or her life is threatened. Second, Section 46 of the Criminal Procedure Code of 1973 allows any police officer to use any degree of force to arrest or prevent an accused from escaping. Third, Section 4 of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, called AFSPA 1958, authorizes every commissioned, non-commissioned or warrant officer to fire or use force if the officer believes that such person is a threat to public order. So, what is the best way forward? To solve this issue, which requires tackling the problem in different ways. First, ensuring accountability for law enforcement officials through a robust system. 2. Training officers to strictly adhere to legal procedures. 3. Using technology like body cameras to monitor interactions and provide evidence. 4. Awareness program to educate the public to report such issues. Finally, strengthening the judiciary's role in reforming laws to align with international human rights standards. Extrajudicial killing are a serious issue against human rights, and they need to be addressed immediately. And the steps need to be taken to prevent from such issues from taking place. Actually, the rule of law must always be preferred over the rule of the gun, which means that a police officer cannot punish a criminal, but the court must punish such persons. Even though there are organizations such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, etc. to protect human rights, they are still not able to stop this practice completely. Many people are in favor of extrajudicial killing, where they say that justice cannot be delayed and it has to be delivered immediately because they do not have faith in the judiciary, as they feel that the process is slow and the accused might escape and get bail. As long as such person's mindset remains as such, killing will continue to take place. So such a mindset needs to change. Finally, the government too must not support such acts of fake encounters, but should ensure that the dignity of every citizen. So it should be a combined effort of both citizens and the government to stop such practice. If you like this video, do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more issues explained in a simple and understandable way. Take care and see you in the next video. Bye bye.